Okay, so I'm creating this video to help familiarize you with the operations of the Red Pearl sorter and the Easy Sort software. So as you can see, this is the screen you come into when you first come into the program. It's pretty much everything you need to see or be able to operate the system is shown here. When you select your measure setting up top here, it changes what you see for class. So down the left side here are your classes, and in this case it's the sizes for max height. If I select brightness, it's the colors. If I select maturity 2, it's the softness settings, the cut points. So, and you can change the cut points on any of them, the numbers, when you're in any screen, as long as you know what they are. So you just only, to see what they are, you select that particular button. So max height is size, maximum diameter. Brightness is the color. Maturity 2 is maturity or softness. Maturity 1 is a spot soft or a cellular decay in spots as compared to the surface around it. Aspect is shape. So anything from 0 to 1, 1 is a perfectly round object. 0 to 1.4 then is usually a good piece of fruit, and anything over is a double or more oblong. Speckle is for surface spread, like if you run an apple, it'd be like for russet that covers the surface of the apple, kind of accumulates the total of it all. Color 4 right now is programmed to brown, and there are 4 programmable colors. In cherries we generally only use one. We make it brown because anything brown on a cherry is generally garbage or a blemish, unless it's the tip of the stem. So every now and then there's errors there. And that's what we use these two for, is to try and identify the stem and separate it from the body of the fruit. Ignore filter and ignore trigger. And those we don't change these numbers under it, but they have to be there in order to run. Down to the bottom here we have drop 1, drop 2, drop 3. So these are all your drops listed, and then labeler 1, labeler 2. And in cherries we wouldn't be using labelers. They're here shown for the reference. And underneath the drops will be everything that is in that drop or assigned to that drop. So right now you can see there's nothing assigned, and we'll go through that in a minute. The rest of the buttons up here at the top, status details, just gives us error return numbers. That's primarily what it's for. Images takes us to the images screen where we can capture images and look at what's going under the fruit that's going under the cameras, and also analyze those images for size, color, whatever. Like right now we're seeing the sizes of these Rainier cherries. And if we were to go into sampler display settings button, we could go down here to specify feedback measure, and we can scroll between all the measure settings that we have loaded that you saw on the previous screen. And as we scroll through them, you'll see the numbers change based on what it's looking at. So there's your stems. And we can, in this screen also, we can select the view of the infrared or the color camera by clicking on that switch. You can select which camera you want to see the image from. That's in a multiple camera system. You can select which image of each piece of fruit you want to see from that grab. And you can also select, up here is the grabber settings. You can select based on, you can grab just particular images of fruit. Or generally what I do when I'm grabbing images, I just say grab an object sequence, click the grab button, and it will grab the next piece of fruit that comes under any of the cameras. So, but this button here has to be pushed for that to happen. And you don't want to leave that depressed for more than about, well, it will eventually overrun the memory when you if you're running heavy. So you want to be careful just to grab the images you need and then turn the grabber back off. The other screen here is accounting. We use this. You can actually see what is going onto your machine by various different ways, category and things like that. There's also feedback on this screen. When we'd actually be running, you'd actually be able to see there'd be gray bars on these with a number count at each of these zeros that tells you exactly how many pieces have gone under of each category, and you can get a quick idea of where your fruit is peaking in size, color, and all that. And also, if you make a change, like if I was to change this number to a 7.5, you would actually get a real-time feedback from the program telling you how that change is going to affect your sorting. And that's very useful. So I hope this has been helpful. The next video in this series will be about how to do drop tests and a couple other features in this screen.